lost opportunity. However, there was growth. I mean, you know, it's what it's all about, getting better, but it's also about winning. And we fell a little short of our goal tonight. I think the community was proud of our effort and the fans that came. You know, saw a good game. We competed against a top 10 caliber team, regardless of the record. We just fell a little short at home, which is not fun. Doesn't feel good. And there's a lot of individual accolades that could be statistically thrown around, but we didn't win the game. And all these kids came here to win. So we've got to tighten up some things. We've got to keep growing, keep getting better. And we will win going forward. We need to take care of our decision-making a little bit better. It was better tonight than Northern Iowa, but it just wasn't what we needed. Now, listen, at the end of any game, regulation, for example, JoJo's 3, people are going to probably discuss that, but let's put that to bed. You know, the play was drawn up for maybe to get something going to the basket, but in the heat of the moment, you've got a kid who has to make a decision, and his decision was to pull it up for whatever reason, and we'll go back and we'll teach him that statistically why we want you to get to the rim, why we call that exact set, and he'll grow from it. He'll get better. I thought he made tremendous strides from his play at Northern Iowa to tonight, and he'll continue to get better. I put the ball in his hand for a reason in that particular case in regulation, and it just didn't work to our favor. But I love him to death. He's one of my kids. I'll always love him, and I know he's in pain right now. He'll push through. He'll be fine. It's just a lost opportunity. You only get so many times you get to play a team like Arizona or on a road with the Northern Iowa, or, you know, the games that are on our schedule that are earmarked, so to speak. Okay, so with that being said, let me just open it up for questions because I don't want to be here too long. He wasn't here last time. My mom complained that she couldn't hear the questions, so Andy went and got a mic for the media. So if you were here last time, you would have known, Mark. But that's it. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. I know. Go ahead. What's your question, bro?
What's going on with this thing?
Go ahead. I can hear you, bro. Overtime? I think it's working now. Let me see. We ran. Preston, remind me what happened. We ran open. Is that what you're talking about? We ran open. And Nunu had the 3. Yeah, Jordy. Well, it was designed to get a pick and roll in the middle of the floor. We wanted to get Brandon going right to the basket. They defended it really well. They sagged off of it, and they clogged up the whole middle. So we had to take what they gave us. And Nunu was wide open, and he could shoot the 3. So, you know, he had been sitting for a little bit, but he can make that shot. So, you know, he makes it. It's a great shot. It actually was a pretty clean look, so it just didn't go down. But it was probably our third option out of that play.
Coach, obviously, Johnson, right here, Coach.
How
you doing? Johnson, I'm assuming, was trying to miss that second free throw. How frustrating is that when he puts up that kind of arc and it goes in?
That wasn't frustrating. It was almost laughable. It's like, damn it. Seriously, like if, you know, it was just one of those things where you just got to go, hey, bro, I know what you're trying to do. We were all on the same page. I subbed in Mbake, who can really rebound as long. And the goal was there was enough time on the clock we practiced, you know, to get a high bounce, and then you got 2 bigs in to just tip it back out to the shooters. And they didn't match up with a couple guys on the perimeter, so had we got a hand on it and been able to tip it back, there was still 2.4 seconds. It's really good play if it works. It's not a good play when you make the shot. So, next question.
When Arizona was setting up that baseline out-of-bounds play with 36 seconds left, and short on the shot clock.
Yeah.
What was your message? What were you telling your players in the huddle? And
well, we discussed it. We could guard it a couple different ways, and the way we chose, we ended up getting the foul. We were supposed to take away the pass. They had a lob. They had to throw some kind of lob or something going to the basket. So the ball, we put a taller defender on 0 who was the inbounder. I believe he was still the inbounder. And then we had him. He was supposed to deflect or not let the pass go towards the basket. So he was just supposed to trace the ball and do that. Then the other 4 guys, and I won't go into too much detail, but the bottom line was we executed it half decent, but we just got out physical, and they pushed through screens that I think they were fouls, but, I don't officiate. I just coach. So, but they said it wasn't. He was protecting himself. I don't know how you protect yourself on offense, but anyway, whatever. Bottom line was they didn't call anything, and they ended up getting a touch deep, and, it was what it was. We went man-on-man on that, and there was probably a switch opportunity that didn't occur. There's a thing called an emergency switch, even though, okay, we're not switching. But, yeah, if you get clocked, it's an emergency switch, and then we didn't execute it that well. So good lesson. Good lesson. We'll stop that next time.
First half, Coach, you were able to do a pretty solid job defensively against Arizona. In the second half, they got it going a little bit. Can you talk about some of the challenges you guys faced in that second half and then overtime?
Well, they started going to their guys. They ran a lot of ISO situations. They ran a lot of post. They got a lot of post situations and elbow situations for DeAndre, and he was rolling tonight. He was 12 for 23. He had a good game, and Alonzo also did what he does, and those 2 guys are going to get theirs, and we did a pretty good job on the rest of the guys. And even the 3 games they lost, those 2 guys scored, so we knew they were going to get their money. But Jackson Cartwright had a good game, and he was another one. We couldn't keep him out of paint as much as we wanted to. But in the first half, I didn't think we did a good job. I thought we did a freaking phenomenal job. I thought we held them to 35% from the field. I don't know how much total points they had, but I mean we were doing exactly what we wanted to do. We threw some defenses at them that caught them off guard. We guarded all their plays. We knew every single set. All our guys had them memorized. And they threw some new stuff in the second half, and they tweaked some of their ISOs. So Sean did a really good job in adjustments. He did a better job than I did in the second half.
Marv, kind of a 2-part question, but it's sort of the same topic. Brandon's obviously facing a lot of double teams, and what does he need to do to better handle those going forward when he's probably going to face more? And on the other end, what's your philosophy as far as doubling the post on defense? It looks like you haven't done a whole lot of that so far.
Well, he was 13 for 17. He had 33 points. So I would say the double team wasn't a factor. There's more than one way to help your team than on the initial catch and scoring. You got a rebound, which he did. He had 10 rebounds. You got to keep the ball hot. You play inside the weak side, which he did. Set up several good jump shot opportunities because they collapsed. He had one time it came out of the double. He got a good pass out of it. We kept it hot potato, got it to the weak side, made a 3. That's because Brandon's initial pass. It was the hockey assist. So, we don't double much, but, you're not going to see DeAndre Ayton much. So, we did some things. We covered off of him. We got a couple steals on him early in the second half, but then they subbed out the guy that we were doubling off of. So it opened up some stuff because they put a 3-point shooter in that we couldn't double off of. And he made a couple.
What was your feeling about the energy in the building tonight? Because
it was great, man.
It really felt like a true home court tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice.
For people to come out, but kind of talk a little bit about the energy, especially the start that you guys got tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate that question to bring that point up. Every head coach, when he takes over a program, has a vision, and you have to put it together in baby steps, and you have to have a strategic, mission on how to get there. We have a new athletic director who I love. I think is doing a great job, and we're very much engaged in our offices next to each other, and we talk all the time, and they're doing a great job with the marketing. with a very streamlined staff. We've got a lot of passionate employees that work here that work their tails off, you know, and I just, you know, you have to give them, you know, credit for yeah, we won some games and led up to having a good product for people to come see, but they got the word out. They did some special things. We had a great student section. You know, that's inspirational to see because I know what this place looks like, and I've been here and I've seen it, and I saw it tonight again. I saw a glimpse of what it could be like on a regular basis. So when this place is engaged at a high level from the community, man, I mean, you're up 10 points after the fireworks, and it's real. I mean, it's real. I mean, you got people who don't come in this building, freshmen, and the coaches didn't warn them. They're jumping, literally, you know. So that tradition and that history here is to see a little glimpse of it was a silver lining on the evening.
Anthony Smith grabbed 5 rebounds in 16 minutes. He brought some defensive energy. He made some saves. Can you just talk about his play?
You know, Anthony is doing what I ask him to do. And Anthony Smith is a young man who is well documented. You know, he's got a family and he's playing to make money one day, you know. So, but he didn't have the same experiences growing up. He didn't play high school basketball. He's a little bit behind on some of the technical and fundamental things. So where he lacks a little discipline is some of the things that he didn't get the training on at an early age. But he's my guy. I love him, and you know he plays his tail off. He's very passionate, you know, and we just got to keep that under control. And he did some good things. I mean, he's a warrior, man. He's going to be really good for us going forward too. I wish I had him for 2 more years instead of just 1.
To reflect back on Anthony, like he was stating, he did a great job defensively on Trey, I believe. When he was in the game, it was tough for him to score. He was forcing him to shoot jump shots. Mm-hmm. So going back to what you're saying, that the lack of certain knowledge that he has as a player, is that the reason why he didn't play that much towards the end of the game?
Yeah, no, you know, he missed some opportunities, scouting things that I thought were critical down the stretch. And then we caught, you know, I always go off of, somebody's asked me before, I think it was JoJo didn't play the last 7 minutes of a game. Who asked me that? Yeah. And it was like, what did you say? You said, how come JoJo didn't play the last 7? Was there a reason for that? And I said, yeah, me, you know, and that's why Anthony didn't play, because it's me. Like, they don't determine their playing time. I do. And I coach to win. I don't care which child or which one of my kids is playing. Like, I'm trying to win the game. And one game, some guy might get more minutes than his brother, you know, and that's just how it works. So, but yeah, no, you look back and, you know what, to be honest with you, after the Northern Iowa game, I thought I played Jordy too much, you know, and I thought that I could have played Amari a little bit more. And so, and even this game, I felt like if I could have got Jordy a couple more spells, but he ended up doing pretty good for the minutes. He what did he end up with? He didn't get going offensively, which was something that we need from him, even though he got 7 points from the line. But he had 9 assists. You know, he's just kid's a soldier. So anyway, yeah, their minutes are always controlled by whatever I feel like I need to do that game to win. You know.
Yeah, kind of going along those same lines, Coach. It seems like now your starters are getting the vast majority of the minutes.
Well, these two games. But I'm not by any chance settled in any rotation. You know, we have a competitive practice, and we have depth. And we need to – my guys know that, you know, the games are mutually exclusive of each other. You know, Oral Roberts could be something different. Illinois could be something different. Matchups have a lot to play in this deal. Scouting report. You know, it's a complex thing. It's like scheduling. You know, you got to factor in a lot of different things into who plays in a game and how long they play. These 2 games led towards the minutes that, you know, unfolded these last 2 games. But I wouldn't take these 2 games and engrave them in the ink for the rest of the season.
Coach, I kind of asked the kids the same question I'm going to ask you. This is probably the best team you're going to see the rest of the season. How much confidence does this help the guys going forward, knowing that they took this team to basically the brink?
We lost. But we pushed them. How much will that help us? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think this game will be history pretty soon. We'll be worrying about Reno and worrying about Boise State, who had a great win, a conference win for us, beating Oregon with a long shot to win it. And I mean, those guys, you know, your next opponent will be more on the forefront. But I don't think these guys lack for confidence. I think they have played at a high level, you know, majority of them. And I think they're solid people that love to compete. So I don't think that'll be a problem.
Hey, Brandon, just I know for both of you, tough one to swallow, but just, you know, talk about what were the missed opportunities in your eyes tonight, or what do you think you could have done differently?
Arizona's a great program, you know. Coach Sean Miller's a great coach, and, you know, he has some great players. We just lost it, you know. We came in the game just trying to win and just playing our hearts out. And, you know, we just came up short, but I commend every one of my brothers because we played our hearts out. Nobody else, you can say that nobody on the team had energy left. So we gave it all, but we just came out short.
Yeah, and their big guy, 13-8, and played really well down the stretch. Just what was he presenting to you on the defensive end, you know, that was so tough for you to stop him?
It was tough for him to stop me, first of all. So, but, I mean, DeAndre, I grew up with him. We've been knowing each other since I was 13 years old. We grew up in we slept on the same bunk bed. So, I mean, I know him before basketball, and that's one of my brothers, and, you know, I commend him for the game today, and, you know, they just won.
What was Marvin preaching to you guys on the defensive end that was the most important for this game?
He was just saying stay disciplined, you know, just stunt, help, just pick with the person that has the ball ahead, just standing back, giving him a vision in case he drive or whatever, and then he just said finish with a rebound. So, I mean, I feel as though we did it, but they just made tough shots. I mean, that's what good players do.
Two questions for either of you guys. Last play in regulation, what were you guys trying to get there? Was Mooring supposed to get the ball top of the key and just create? And the other question is, was Johnson trying to miss that free throw there at the end of overtime?
The play at the end of regulation, we had faith in our senior guard, Giovanni Morning. He's a great shooter, great player, great leader. We just gave it to him, and you know, it's his team, so he deserved to end it the right way. It was a good shot. It just came up short. And yes, Jordy was trying to miss the free throw, but I mean, he shoot good free throws. So if you try to miss, he tried, but it was just all net. You know?
On the in overtime with 35 seconds left, that baseline out of bounds play that they ran at the end of the shot clock, what was the message in the timeout going before that inbounds play, and what happened in your eyes on that play?
We believed that they was going to throw a lob. They did throw. They was attempting to throw a lob. I took away the lob. I believe like they was just like pushing me and fouling me, manhandling me when I was getting around the screen. But I didn't blame the refs or anything. But after that, we was just trying to take away any type of inside touch, any early feed, and I mean they just got lucky. The guard threw a nice pass and got it in.
This is for either you guys. You guys took a team that a lot of people predicted would be a Final Four team, basically to the brink. This is probably the best team you're going to play the rest of the season. How much confidence does this game give you guys going forward?
Honestly, I believe we are a Final Four team. We just got to come out and play hard every possession, every minute of every game. They just matched our athletic intensity. It was just a mirror of us. So, I mean, when you get other people that play just like you, it's going to be a good ball game. We came out with our strongest punch. I believe we came out second half with a strong punch too. They just hit some tough shots. You can't beat that. You can't fix that. We was defending them. We was in their stuff, and they just hit shots.
Brandon, that's for you, man. Brandon, you had 31 and 10, I believe. So offensively, you were doing a good job. Towards the end of the game in overtime, defensively, not saying that DeAndre was too much, but do you feel as if as a team that y'all could have started double teaming him a little bit earlier?
Well, DeAndre is a great player, so you know he's been able to get his shot against anybody. So you know we played our hardest, and he just, you know what I'm saying? He's a great player, so